us another day, only to scream into the night. Nothing ever tries to change, even if I want to realize. 'Cause I've been sitting here, same old ways, taking off without the same mistake. Darling, where you going? It won't be as simple for you.
Yo, guys, it is Old Man G here, back again. I have a lovely, awesome panel today where we are going to, you see the image. You see the image to the right. We are here to discuss the Pogmentary. I still think that's a cheesy name, but it is what it is. I'm joined by Eddie, Chimera, and Tom. Guys, how you doing?
Yeah, doing all right, man. Just waiting to get into some of this content, man. There's 2 hours, 30 minutes of a documentary there. So, yeah, man. Thanks for having me on.
No worries, buddy. Chimera, man, you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm good, man. Good.
Good.
Yes.
Tom, you all right?
Yeah, not bad.
Good. Remember, guys, those watching, if you're new to the channel, to like, share, and subscribe to Red Devil Studio. Follow us on Twitter, United X, smash the notification button, play this Manchester United news, and more, because, I'm also a Madrid fan. So we're posting a lot of Madrid news as well. For those who don't know me, I'm also known as Los Blancos Studios, because right now Manchester United Football Club is a joke. So I do need to have some sort of entertainment with football. Also by Eddie's Football Waffle YouTube channel posts a lot of really good waffle football based content. Link is in the description. So guys, head over to Eddie's channel, subscribe as well.
Thanks, man.
Obviously, before I get into the comments, I see you guys in the comments as well. Really appreciate it. Samasi, who's also a new member. Shout out to the new members of the channel as well. Appreciate it. And Matthew, thank you for joining in, as well as Nicola Brinks. I see. Okay. Let's step back. What are people's initial? I don't want people going into detail. But what are people's initial reaction to this documentary? Just brief thoughts, like when you saw it. What is your initial reaction to it? So Eddie, if you want to start, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you said, just keep it to a little bit of a succinct view on it, because 2 hours, 30 minutes, man. I mean, my patience is it's not great. So seeing the documentary with subtitles, I was like, oh my God, it's going to take a lot of patience for me to keep going, keep reading. Because I'm not a good reader. I've got to say that. Even though I got some good grades in school, with reading, I've got ADD or something. But yeah, in terms of production value, it was good. I had little bits of animation I thought was really good. Really like that. I do animation myself, so I can really appreciate things like that. Yeah, you said the Pogmentary, right? It's a bit of a bad pun, because if you go to the original words, it should be documentary. So shouldn't the pun be Pogumentary? You know what I mean? So I think they kind of messed up on that. But yeah, in terms of the general thing, I'll just wrap up with this. The way they've marketed the documentary, or the way they've done it, it just looks like it's really focused for people that solely support Pogba or people that support the French team. I mean, he's done the documentary in French, so you can tell who the target market is, But maybe he didn't go into enough about Man United. That's a big thing. Talked a bit about Trent. But yeah, it was interesting overall, to show his personal life. And he's a good humanitarian, So, yeah, I enjoyed it for the most part.
Okay. Chimera, bro, what were your initial thoughts on the documentary?
Well, To be honest, I haven't really had time to sit back and watch the entire thing. So I've seen some of the things here and there, that were in the documentary, some stuff here and there, some clips here and there, But as far as the initial thoughts when I heard the documentary was coming out, I mean, anybody who knows me knows I'm not really the biggest Pogba fan. Not even I'm not even talking his antics. I'm just talking about him as a player in general. I don't think he's as good as his reputation precedes. But for that, when I first heard that, there's part of the reason why I feel like his career is underperforming, because at the end of the day, are you interested in becoming the best footballer you want to be, or are you just trying to get the limelight of yourself? Because I don't see the reason for this documentary when it comes down to it. At the end of the day, you've left the club. So what's the point of saying all these things at the end of the day? It's just bringing more attention to yourself, and you're putting more pressure on yourself as a player. So now you have to perform. So I just didn't see the point of it, and I don't really see what he's gaining from it. I mean, he's getting money and it's helping his brand, but I don't see how it's helping him, his career-wise.
And before I get into the comments, Tom, we'll obviously go into detail, but just brief initial thoughts of the documentary.
I was impressed, to be honest, with how graphic and how detailed it was, really. I mean, it truly shows, when you're at that level of a sport, it doesn't have to be football, what everything is all about, really, and how many people are involved in your life, friends, family, lawyers, agents, It's not like you just go to a football club and that's it, and it's as simple as that. You've got all the different people involved, financial advisors, brand advisors, holiday makers. You've got a person for everything, really, chauffeur, the lot, And I think the main sort of parts that impressed me, I think overall, to even put something out like this, given the state of where such as his former club now in Manchester United are, I think shows just how ambitious he is. Because if you're willing to put your whole life on TV for the sake and the fact of you want to further your brand, or you potentially want to get something out of this after football to show that you're made for TV, to go and do that and put yourself on the world stage along with your family, it is impressive. You've got to say it is impressive. And Shimmery and Eddie's already said, he's going to gain financially from this, absolutely. Everything has its price tag at the end of the day. And I'm sure at the end of his whole career, he'd probably do something exactly the same for the final years, wherever he goes, which is looking very likely to be Juventus. They'll probably do something for the end of his career. So at the end of the day, he's gained financially. I was impressed by the detail and the graphics that he went into, and I just think it shows his ambition to want to win things and play at the highest level, really.
Fair enough. Let me quickly just go into some of the comments here. Matsu says, big up everyone on the show and in the chat. Samasi says, really, Red Devil, Los Blancos. Well, desperate times at this point, man. Desperate times. If you were here yesterday, I'm very, very worried about what's going on with Manchester United right now. Matthew Bass says, a documentary about a player who was underwhelming for Man United and never truly reached his potential. So says, Man United are a badly run club and Pogba needs players around him to shine. United didn't do that, but Pogba wanted to be main man, so he needs to perform better. Nico Brink says, Pogba wants me to feel sorry for him. We paid 100 million for a guy that was constantly injured, and when we needed him the most, he was bad. Mawada says, even as a huge Pogba fan, this was cringe. And of course, his best individual years United was under Oli, and when Jose won the Europa League, Carabao Cup, and the year he just came when we finished 6th and won the Europa League. And Cummings also says, that's basically 2 out of the 6 years that he was good, and it wasn't enough. Don't forget, for most of his time, he has missed over half the games he could have played in. The box says, Pogba could join Tawi Tawi on the back. For those who don't know what Tawi, I'm sure it means the only way is Essex. I'm assuming that's what he means. For people who don't know what that is,
it means reality TV, pretty much.
Yeah. Bath Time Everyone says this documentary is one of the funniest things I have ever seen. So a lot of people, with a banter sort of almost approach to this whole thing.
Can I just say something
Yeah.
quickly on what
Go on.
Tomasi and Matthew were saying? Because
Okay.
it was underwhelming. That is a right point to make. And as Tomasi was saying, something about the team being built around him. I mean, Pogba does mention that you don't make you don't. I'm trying to paraphrase right now. He said you're not a star because you say you are. This is him talking, right? He said you're not a star because you say you are. People make you a star, right?
Mhm.
But I think that really applies to him, and that to me implies he needed people around him because when he said that, he was referencing Juventus. He said they made him a star. So really, he's saying that at Man United, the people couldn't make him a star. Basically, I mean, it is playing the blame game. I think. I mean, I'm reading into this. I mean, it may be wrong, but I think most likely he's saying the squad was not built around him, and that's a big issue with him. I think he's really acknowledging that he's a luxury player.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I guess going further into this. Okay. Obviously, everyone's United fans here. Do people think that Pogba has been a flop at Manchester United?
I mean, he's won trophies. That's the thing. I mean, that's what you want to win at a club. I know it's Europa League and Capital One Cup, right? But you got to measure everything. There's some success though, so I don't think a flop wins anything. If what's the definition of flop? Isn't it complete failure, right? So I don't think I think he's underperformed. I think you can say that. I would say that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think flop is the proper word. I say underwhelming, not flop.
Underachieved? Is that reasonable?
Yeah.
Maybe he's because he's still when Pogba's played, he's still been most of the time when he's played, he's still been one of our best players when he's played. But for what we expected out of him, or for what maybe not what maybe what everybody expected when we bought him, because people were saying Ballon d'Or, next great midfielder. So for that expectations for what we bought him for, because we bought him to be a game changer, to take our team to the next level, lead the new United team, regard, all that. So for that, when it comes to that, he's failed. But as far as just a player in general, he hasn't flopped. I don't think so.
Tom?
Yeah, I completely agree with Eddie. But I think one of the key points for me that I would make is I just think his whole stock as a footballer has dropped completely. It's not so much due to performance or anything like that, because on his day, we saw at the start of the season, that Leeds game, for example, 4 assists in a game. Regardless of the opposition, it's very rare that you get that against any team.
Yeah.
So you can see that there has always been a player there. And it's not always a case of a club or a manager needs to get that out of a player. It's the player needs to have the commitments. And like I say, yeah, he's ambitious to win things and stuff. But if you don't have the right sort of people who are pushing you, say at a football club like Juventus did, for example, where they identified him as a young player and, like Eddie said, made him a star, at Manchester United, they pushed him away. They said, you're not for us as a young player. We can't turn you from a young player to a superstar. The great Ferguson, said blatantly to the press, the kids completely ridiculed everything that I've built in terms of the youth system from the class of '92. That is his greatest, accolade. And Paul Pogba and the class of '92 couldn't be, worlds apart with personalities or in terms of actually winning major trophies at the end of the day. I think his best accolades have been away from Manchester United anyway. He's not won league titles here. He won he won Scudettos at Italy with Juventus. He's won the World Cup with France. He's won bigger and better things away from Manchester United, both as a young player and as an experienced player with France. So at the end of the day, wherever he goes after this, if it is back to Juventus, like it's looking likely, he will win Scudettos. I'm sure of that. potentially might win a Champions League. Who knows if they can build the right sort of team there with the right project. But at the end of the day, he's got far more rights to do what he's done in football, because let's not forget, other Manchester United players or ex-players have done documentaries and stuff, have they not? I saw a documentary come out a couple of months ago with Wayne Rooney in it. I saw the same thing with Sir Alex Ferguson a couple of years ago. Ryan Giggs did one with the BBC, so it's nothing new with footballers doing this. But in the last 4 to 6 months, Manchester United as a football club have been brought to their knees by 3 different people. 2 of them being football players in Cristiano Ronaldo and Paul Pogba in these documentaries exposing the frailties behind the scenes of these football clubs, and Ralph Ragnick with his consultancy, because he did his job in the press conference rooms for 4 months. He did his consultancy. He said everything that was bad about the football club, and it was basically, you've got the Austrian job. There's a sack of cash. Go and deal with it. And Paul Pogba has basically done the exact same thing. He's come here, Man United, you let him go for free, paid 90 million, and he's gone again. And listen, he's in control of his own destiny, his own ambition. Go and prove everybody wrong then, Paul. That's what I would say anyway. Go and prove everybody wrong then.
Can I just say on the back of that, with what Sir Alex said as well, I found it was disappointing in the way, he said, okay, Pogba disrespected the club by not, signing that deal, right? But the thing is, we saw how much he grew as a brand, as a player at Juventus. So he was pretty much right about his valuation. If you look at it, I mean, no one pays 90 million for a player they've let go, unless he was right about his growth, right? So with Man United, it's really shocking that they didn't give him a bigger deal, because look at the deals they give to all these players now. Dean Henderson on 100k. Are you kidding me? He's done nothing. You're going to tell me Pogba wasn't worth the deal that he was asking for back then, which must have been considerably lower.
I mean,
right?
I think it's easy to say in hindsight, but when you look at the team that, I think that was there, and the position, I think maybe there was this assumption that, okay, maybe Pogba wasn't going to go straight into the team. But I do agree with you. It's a lack of, one of the things I've always held against Sir Alex Ferguson was that I think that even though yes, the Glazers and the board messed things up, I do think that there was a lack of hindsight and foresight regarding future planning in terms of building for the next. Because the reality is that he left the club was left with a lot of ex-retired players, and the squad needs to be rebuilt.
That's the thing as well. Just real quickly, RDS. We were struggling for midfielders for ages near the end of Sir Alex's reign. There should have been foresight to see that Pogba should have had a position in there. Remember the Champions League final against Barcelona, right? We were playing with Carrick and old man Giggs in midfield. Right? Come on, man.
Eddie, we're still struggling for midfielders now.
Exactly.
And that's how many years on now? That's nearly a decade on. Exactly.
I cannot remember the last, obviously going to side, but I can't remember the last time United had a functional midfield, even functional fullbacks. To be honest, someone was saying when was the last great Manchester United right back? I was like, I mean, Gary Neville was decent, but that's it. Okay, shout out to Raphael. He did a shift. So but
Valencia as well.
And Valencia, so they were, but still, So let me quickly go into the comments again. Remember, guys, if you like the video, it goes and helps with the algorithm. I really appreciate it. Buff Time says, absolutely loved it when he lied to Matui's face about €2 ice creams. Pogba has disgraced the club, to be honest. Okay, that's the opinion. I think that's a bit harsh, but okay.
That's really harsh, I think.
He was disappointed, which is worse, with so much potential. Mawada says, not only he flopped, but turned us into a running joke along with his agent. I mean, we're going to talk about Mino Raiola. That's going to be the next topic, about what people think about Mino. Because obviously, rest in peace, Mino Raiola. Obviously, rest in peace, Mino. But it'd be interesting to see what you guys think about how he conducted himself in the interview. Nick Ring says, don't forget Mourinho brought him to United because he thought he was the best move at the time. As the best, you are judged differently. Exactly. Technically, Pogba hasn't flopped as Matthew because he's won trophies, but for a player with his talent, he's been underwhelming and disappointing, especially as he had a better midfield with Pereira and Matic. And that is true. I was gutted they didn't show him getting booed in his last game. On serious guy, more concerned with clout and his feelings in the team. Should forever be seen as an enemy. Again, that's a bit harsh, bro. That's a bit harsh. Like considering what's at the club, I see why people are angry and annoyed at him, but it can't be all just be on the guy.
It
It can't
can't
be
be
on the
because
guy.
we got to look at other players that fall out with the club.
Yeah.
Bailly, the way he was
Yeah.
talking on Twitter, Lingard, the way his brother was talking for his brother on Twitter. There's other people. Martial didn't want to be at the club. There's a running thing.
Calling out managers, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a running thing
So
at the club that the players get disgruntled. They can't. It's not just Pogba. So you can't
no,
really put all the blame on him.
exactly. EFAC, yo, shout out to you, bro. Pogs, do we think Pogba may have never been suited to EPL like many players form like Forlan, Veron, Shevchenko? No, actually, because I actually think we would have bored at City, but we'll come to that question. I'll star that so we can address that later.
It's a good question.
Pogba wanted to do great things in United, but the club's insisted. EFAC, what has Patrick, I'll bring you in a second. I see you as a City fan because I know you've got a lot to say. Because I've seen Patrick, you can hear me in the background. I know you're in the background. I've seen your tweets about Pogba on Twitter. Patrick, the City fan. So I'll bring you in a second because you know what, I know you have a lot to say.
Well, bath time. No one said they were backing Pogba over Fergie. I just said it was just disappointing to see what it came to. Really, it's fair to say there should be foresight. That's fair to say that you're allowed to criticize people. Not backing Pogba over Fergie. Come on.
No, no one's backing. Like this is the thing. At the end of the day, as the likes of the Mbappe shown, there's no player that's bigger than the football club. No player at all. So I always feel like if you want to go, you go. If you want to stay, you want to stay. It's as simple as that. But as we know, as we talked about yesterday with the with what's his name Arnold was saying, clearly there are issues. You know. Afax Fergie was a Glazer's pop version to Glazer's pop. What can he do really? Imagine if Pogba listened to Fergie like Ronaldo, not decided to live as a clown. I don't know. Again, this is the thing. You say that, but then would he have got the development that he got at Juve? You know, let's keep it a stack. Like Jude Bellingham. If Jude Bellingham had come to Manchester United, for example, would he have got the development that he got at Dortmund or with Sancho? And then you now see how Sancho's at Manchester United. So I don't know. I think it's easy to say that in hindsight, but
didn't Bellingham reject Man United as well, like to go to Dortmund?
Yeah,
right? And then Haaland did the same thing.
Yeah,
they came and took a tour of the facilities and everything. There's something that they saw that they thought was not.
Arnold said our facilities don't look like they've been upgraded.
Exactly.
Let's keep let's keep it a stack. Like Dortmund, even other in quote smaller clubs have better facilities in terms of what's available in terms of training than United do. So we should be under no illusion that United, yes, we are a big club globally, commercially, but in a training in an academy, it seems that we are lagging behind. You know. Quickly go the super chat. Appreciate it from David T on loan at Real Madrid. Sorry, can everyone hear me?
Oh,
okay, cool. We're good. Yeah. So David T on loan at Madrid. Thank you for the super chat, buddy. Really appreciate it. The divide between him and Jose Mourinho gave Play FC power, and that's a fair point. You know, that's a fair point, David T. Again, thanks for the super chat, man. I appreciate it. Because I think when Jose Mourinho, when that rift happened, I think that basically set a precedent, and you know, it's almost like we're still reading the effects from that because Ollie sort of came in to try and almost create the harmony. You know, Ollie was for the players. He was trying to bridge connections. You know, and maybe ultimately that was what led to his downfall. You know, so I'm just going to bring Patrick in. Patrick, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I can hear you. How you doing?
You seem to have quite a grin on your face now that we're talking about a certain Paul Pogba. Who obviously, he said no to your club, by the way. Just putting out there. When he was off, he said
that doesn't matter. All the best for him with his with his bumology or whatever pogmology you call it. Look,
come on, respect Pogba, man. Come on.
Yeah, for me, man. One of my friends who's a United fan said he now feels bad for siding with Pogba in that Mourinho field where they were arguing, you know, where they were fighting against each other. look, Mourinho might be toxic, but Mourinho had a point. Like for instance, I was listening to him. What's that sound? Is that me?
Where's that sound coming from? I think
it's been there all this time. I've been hearing a little bit.
Yeah.
What
What's that sound?
is it like? It's like a buzz or something.
Yeah, buzz. Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you properly though. So
Yeah. Now it's gone. Now it's gone. Now it's gone. Now it's gone. Okay, cool.
Okay.
So look, I think Mourinho was right a bit because for me, I didn't feel sorry for this guy when he said I was in Miami recovering. Then he wrote a message that we're suffering and why you're out there. Like I didn't feel sorry for him. I think you have to pick your sports, you know? Like if you're recovering and if you're serious, how come some of the people like in Man City, when they're recovering, they go where the club tells them? Do you get my point? They go to Spain to the doctor that Pep has. I don't think the club told him to go to Miami. Then the funny thing is, I remember when he was in Miami, it wasn't just the fact of recovery. He was taking pictures at basketball games. Remember? He was out and about.
Exactly.
I think there was a point where he was playing basketball. I think it was also during that time. Like so, this brother, man, this brother wants to be an NBA star, but that doesn't happen in football. It happens in NBA, NFL. That's when you're a star like that. So for me, it's a bit of an insult. Unfortunately, that thing that was edited by somebody saying United fans don't know anything about football. I feel bad that it was just fake. If it was original, we could have used that against you for the whole season. But now we have not. We have nothing, you know.
Yeah,
but
I was looking for that. I was like, it's fake. That was fake. I was like, where did that come from? Because I was looking for. I saw pictures of that, but yeah,
some fraud confessed that it was fake. Yeah. He made it or something.
If anything,
but all I'm trying to say is this guy. I think it's good he's gone. I think this whole thing of trying to be a star at a place where they're trying to fix the club was not a good fit. I don't know if you get where I'm coming from. He was trying to be a star, like a mega star, like something beyond your club. And then you come out with this where you're talking your ish. The same thing as what Lukaku did in his small little interview that everybody forgot about now. So for me, I don't know, guys. It's just, I now feel bad for Mourinho. As bad as Mourinho is, I think Mourinho, in his madness, had a bit of the right thing, saying maybe this guy ain't it. Maybe this guy, as you said, is the one who caused all that power to go to the players at United. So thank God he's gone. I don't know about you guys, how you feel. That
let me come in on that because I think there's another side that's got to be debated as well. Because Pogba was in Dubai, right? And in the documentary, he said that's the best facilities there in the world for recovery, right?
I'm talking about the Miami one. Remember the Miami? He said he was in Miami recovering, and then Paul Mourinho sent a text to his agent.
Yeah, okay, but they've got good facilities there as well. And then we've got to remember, because we were just talking about it, the Glazers have neglected facilities at Man United as well. They've not invested in the training ground, all of these things. So it's like, I can't blame Pogba for trying to go and get like the best rehab wherever he's going. It's up to the club to really say, okay, Pogba, you can't go here. Something's gone wrong in the hierarchy to allow him to go there. Why would he be allowed to go there? You know, he's been like, it wasn't just Miami, it was Dubai as well. So there's something going on because like who just allows an employer just to go and do what they want? Like, you know what I mean? Man United allowed them to. So and then with Jose, it wasn't even just the rift with Pogba that finished Jose. Jose threw all the toys out of the pram when he didn't get his centre backs right. He's saying I don't have the centre backs I need, therefore compromising his relationship with the players. Remember in the player heritage press conference that he made where he was saying, "Oh, I came here with Porto and I won. I did all of these things." He was talking about loads of stuff that disconnected him from the club. The guy was finishing himself as well. So I'm not going to put that much blame on Pogba. But Jose pretty much killed himself with that kind of press.
So what I'm getting from you is you're trying to say that all this documentary, all this things he was doing, he wasn't to blame. He takes no blame at all. Because I think this. I get. You know what? I get where he's coming from. Oh, you're not United fan. I thought you were United fan the way you were twerking for Pogba. And then my bad. Look, for me, I think what Pogba wanted to do is something that's going to happen one day in the future. We've seen it with Mbappe, where these guys will actually become stars, big mega stars, like how it is in the NBA, where you're Michael Jordan. You are Michael Jordan. But I think people are not ready for it yet. I think some people tried in the past, but I think these guys.
But the difference to Michael Jordan is that Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, because he was basically a go to basketball. The issue I have with football stars is that we're now, and this is no with Pogba, but
They haven't achieved yet.
Yeah, we're now treating. We're trying to make like for me. If you want to be a superstar, for me, your achievement it has to precede your achievement. So when you've achieved, what you've achieved, then okay, you're a superstar. But if it's all based on hype and media PR, then no, there's no reason for that. Then that's all it is: hype, PR, good marketing, etc. But when I look at your achievement, it's like as much as I don't like Graham Souness, and Graham Souness was probably was Pogba's enemy number one.
That guy had it.
He was on borderline on racist pretty much. In fairness, when he said like, "Listen, this is what I've achieved," that's what he can say that because he can be like, "Listen, these are my trophies, these are my medals, these are my thing. This is what I've achieved." So at the end of the day, when it comes to football, yes, you have a documentary. Yes, you have a brand deal. Yes, you have all these different sort of things. When the career is over, and I'm like, okay, what has Paul Pogba achieved as a footballer? It's like, okay, I won a World Cup in 2018. Great, scored a World Cup in the final, and I won a few Serie A titles, and I won the Europa League. Fairly underwhelming compared to other superstars.
Did you hear what his camp said? Eddie, did you hear what his camp said? The camp says, "Oh, this guy is a brand. He's got an emoji of his own emoji." You see where they're trying to get him? Like, is it football anymore? Like, is it like you really come and say, "Let's put your emoji on the table"? Is that what we're trying to say? I don't get it. He said, like, that's how the camp was defending all this. Is like, he's got an emoji. He's a brand. He's doing the hairstyles. Kids follow them. They're trendy. I like all that, but back it on the pitch. Like, back it for United. Like that's I think that's the issue was what Pogba was here. I think if Pogba bored at United, I think anybody was going to be saying anything. That's what happens if you bored, nobody says anything if you perform. But you say, "Oh, I have an emoji," the hairstyles, kids copy them, kids love them. He's got a huge following on Instagram, Twitter. I don't know. I don't get it. That's what I'm saying.
These are the things. Patrick. These are the things that Man United like, though. You're right. I mean, we've seen.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Last season, with all the social media stuff, right? We saw that's the Man United love that kind of policy. Remember all of the apologies after games that players would do on social media. All of these things. I mean, the stuff I was reading, Man United put on their Twitter last season when they just weren't reading the room. They weren't reading the situation. I mean, when there was like bad losses going on, I'd see like tweets of Man United saying, "Oh, remember Dwight York's goal against Barcelona?" And then remember that infamous Ronaldo reference. Oh, how many times do you find yourself saying "Sue" when you're at work or school? and the team was in the shitter, and the team was doing bad. So pretty much, I would say, Patrick, the Man United are to blame as well for that kind of thing. They like this brand exposure, this whole focusing on commercial things. That's how these Blazers make a lot of the money, isn't it?
Before I go into talk about what you guys thought about Mino Rialo, let me just quickly read, just skip through a few comments. By all means, remember, if you're watching, please like the vid. It helps the algorithm. It goes a long way. And if you want to consider supporting the channel, consider either obviously subscribing, becoming a member, as we're doing a lot of member-related content in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, or consider giving a super chat. It goes a long way, and the stuff and the money gets invested back into the channel as well. I'm hoping to sort out a proper studio in the next couple of weeks as well. So expect change with this channel, God willing. Right. Let's have a quick look. Okay. Box says Neville, Evra, O'Shea, Brown, Hines, Fabian, Raphael. We were loaded with top fullbacks. I'll give you Neville, Evra. I wouldn't say the others were top. I'd say that they were, unless this is sarcasm here. I'm not entirely sure, but definitely Neville and Evra. But the others, they could do a job. But I think that was more on Sir Alex Ferguson more than anything, really.
I don't agree with Fabio and Raphael. I thought they were very underwhelming, but the others, we'll give.
Matthew says Haaland didn't join because we didn't want to put a release clause in his contract. That's fair, and that's for Mino Rialo, which we'll get up to. That was a part of that. Was Jose wrong though? I don't think he was. Haaland will leave City in 2024.
Want to go where? Man United?
Probably Real Madrid.
Let me answer that. You know what? You see, let me answer that. Guys in the comments, you have to be very careful. Don't forget that when Madrid and La Liga get slapped in the face, they have got their own media. Look at all the sources. Every source that's reporting foolishness about that is from Spain, from the Spanish side. They're either from Barcelona, the Madrid side. 100 million is close is not the one we've heard. Last time we had 250. Last time it was 350. Then 150. Why does it keep changing? Look at your facts. Just watch this. You will find out that they're going to have more egg on their face when Haaland doesn't even go to them. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell people because people keep getting too excited. Look at the source when you're looking at these stories. Look at the source.
Look at the source.
Yeah, I don't see.
Sorry, were you saying, Chimera?
No, I was just saying I don't see any reason. I don't see any reason Haaland would leave like in the next couple of years.
Let's have a look. The box also says Man City would have demanded double that if there was no clause. Oh, sorry, Matthew says 120. Matthew says I'm going to. Matthew said when Haaland leaves City, their fans will have a meltdown. And probably dig at Patrick. Moses, CR7 is a bigger star as they come. There is a way to do things, but whoever advises Pogba has done him a disservice. An English Town FC says, surely when a player goes abroad to recover, the club should monitor that. So why did Josie act like Pogba was on holiday mid-season? Josie was looking for the sack. I mean, he wanted to stay out. Mega also says, are you going to look at the Richard Arnold videos? We've already done that, bro. If you go onto the channel, yesterday we had I think for the first. We've got some timestamps there. For the first 30, 40 minutes, we went in depth talking about the Richard Arnold video. So that video should actually be on the page. StreamYard, I think, processed it slowly, but yeah, that's on the channel now under it's Richard Arnold reaction and fixture list reaction. So yeah, we discussed that yesterday. Box says Pogba emoji minus now Özil is becoming an esports player. And EFAC says Pogba's last few seasons just plagued with injuries. First 3 of his seasons was actually really good. Right, guys. Mino Raiola, because Mino Raiola was featured quite a bit in this. And obviously, like I said, rest in peace to Mino Raiola. And obviously to his family, because obviously he's not coming with us. So rest in peace to Mino. But just, I guess, specifically on how he was portrayed and how he portrayed himself in this interview, in this documentary, what did you guys think?
So it was a bit weird to actually really gauge Mino Raiola. I mean, overall, from my point of view, like my feeling of him, I didn't like him, to be honest. Like, just to go into specifics, there was the deal he's talking about where they were assessing Pogba's contract, right? And then they were saying, you know how Man United didn't offer him a contract, right? And they were assessing that side of it. And then Mino was saying, yeah, what they were offering was not rewarding enough, right? They said that they're not really offering anything. He was saying, and then so it was almost like he was trying to put a bug in Pogba's ear, even though Man United, yeah, clearly they didn't offer a renewal, did they? They didn't offer a proper contract because Pogba was saying, oh, the club should tell me that they want to keep me. They didn't tell him, right? And then I'm just thinking, like, as well as Mino saying that, he just seemed to be manipulating Pogba because he was saying, think about what's best for your family. I mean, that's a good thing to say. Think what's good for your family and all that. But then he was saying that think of how you play better with France, because I think in the situation I'm talking about, he was talking about possibly going to PSG, right, which is France. And so Mino was saying, okay, cool, you play better with the French team. It may make sense to go back to France and all that stuff. So you can see the manipulation there. But then at the same time, you got to look at Pogba being from France and that he plays better there. So you would think that would be the narrative to put across. But with agents, it's hard to tell really, because they could just be words. Mino may not have cared about his family, even though Pogba says Mino was like a father to him, right? We just got to take the words for it. But then there's got to be something in Mino's head where it's like, another move, I'll get money, like. So it was hard to tell. I didn't like my point of view on Mino Raiola. I didn't really like him. Like there was other things he was talking about, and I didn't really. He just seems like a wheeler and a dealer. That kind of savvy businessman knows how to put words to make him sound good.
But I mean, in fairness, he gets the stuff done for his clients, and that's so whatever you say about him, what you say, like at the end of the day, like he got the best deal for his clients, and that's why I like him. And like, if you, as much as the fan, you're like, oh, I don't like the agent. If I was in a position where, you know, I wanted someone like you're in a court, or you need a doctor or whatever, and you're like, I want to get access to the best doctor's going to give me access to the best care or the best defense, etc., and they go and deliver that, you know, then you're going to side with that guy no matter what, you know, so even if obviously he's not particularly perfect. So as far as I guess he's concerned, he was able to give Pogba, you know, what he wanted, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts, Patrick, Chimera, on?
I think a lot of people don't like your man, but as you say, he was always getting the best for his clients, and everybody who's his client says he cared about people's family. Even Zlatan said he'll visit, send gifts every day. Look, if that's his hustle that he was sending those gifts for the sake of just sending them, fair play to him. Then he has a good hustle, because every client he has always has the best review for him. Even before he died, they used to say he will give you a surprise visit on Christmas, and he would tell you that, look, you have to make an investment worth looking after your family. I think he said that to many people. You've noticed his clients always build a brand. Maybe that's the reason why Pogba wanted Zlatan, build the brand. He was trying to get Haaland to build a brand, who Haaland now, all of a sudden, is also being taken by companies like Samsung. He's building a brand for himself. So it looks like Mina was advising people to get the best of the out of the situation. Let's not also forget, we feel sorry for the clubs, right? But the clubs also have got billionaires and millionaires. So at the end of the day, he's hustling millionaires. He's not hustling just a normal Joe, you know? It might be that people hate him from the club side. Obviously, they paint him a bad name. But in the end, he always gets the best deal, because there's money in football, and there's people who have that money in football. So get as much as you can. But look, on the other side, I'm not going to go against like Eddie. Eddie is right. Looking for him from far, he's a bit of a nightmare, especially during the transfer season when you're trying to wait for a player and you know he's under Mina, you know it's going to be till last minute, or last minute you have a gentleman's agreement, then he'll betray you at the end, and you find, oh, he's taking his client to another bidder. That's the only thing I didn't like about him, where people couldn't trust him. That if you make a deal with him, an agreement, it's not 100% with him. He might switch you at the end and just find this somewhere. But overall, he's a hustler. Same as people who sell tomatoes in my country. They'll hustle you to the end. If you're not smart, you buy the tomatoes very high, then you find out somebody bought the tomatoes for cheaper. So it is, man.
That's appreciate that. Appreciate that. Oh, shout out to Chainsaw, man. Chainsaw actually gifted 5 memberships, guys. Really like, so thank you so much. Chainsaw.
What does that mean?
I still, from my understanding of it, and maybe Chainsaw can explain it, like, I think that someone purchases it and then gives the memberships to potentially other people. Wow,
that's a power move, man.
You know, that's from what I understand. Chainsaw, I know you're in the chat. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, because to be honest, I know the gift membership thing started on Twitch. Like, you gift subs on Twitch, and so it's the same kind of thing, similar on YouTube. So I assume it's a similar thing. Yeah, really gives cool. other. Yeah, Chainsaw says gives other memberships to us. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, buddy. I really, really do. And for those who are watching and want to take advantage of that, please do and become a member of the channel. It goes a lot, access to more content, as well as the member hangouts as well.
Sign up to Los Blancos Studios, man. That's going to be rebranding soon.
Well, to be honest, like, there are most people that are not members aren't even United fans, so like, it's probably not going to make a difference, to be honest. So, but yeah, man, no, I appreciate it. Or give other membership to others. Yes, that's it. Give them. So yeah, I really appreciate Chainsaw. Thank you so much. What we're talking about, so Chimera, I think you haven't spoken on Rialo and how you felt that he came across here.
On Rialo, I mean, I pretty much agree with the sentiments of what everybody else said. I mean, even when he was coming out, when he was coming out with all the Pogba stuff, when Pogba wanted to leave United, Although I never really made too much of it because I mean he's just representing his client, so you know. So so whatever Riola says, that's on Pogba. He's just doing what he feels best for his client. So which is what he's paid to do. He's paid to get his client the best situation for him. So so I mean I can't make much of it. He's just doing what he's supposed to do. He's doing his job. You know, there's nothing too big when it comes to that.
Fair enough, buddy. Okay. So also just for those in the chat, if you do have any questions for the panel, please get the questions in. We'll be taking the questions as well. If anyone specifically, let us know. Get your questions, comments, and towards the end, I'll be letting you guys know what we'll be doing next week, future, all the rest of it. So I guess getting back into luxury, like, were you guys surprised about the lack of because, and this is maybe because Patrick showed me that which was now fake. Twitter a post
how I wish it wasn't. How I wish it wasn't.
I know. But what surprised me was just the fact that like that he didn't really talk much about Manchester United in terms of the fans, his experience. He kind of really, so that's why part of me is like because this was filmed in like 2011 as well, 2021, around that season, and then going into the next one, at the beginning of 2022. Was he thinking in his mind that he was still going to stay at the club? And so he had to kind of, you know what I mean? Like he was going to probably put this out regardless, but if he put it out, like had he known at the time he was going to leave, would he maybe have been more anti-Manchester United than he was in this documentary? That's basically what I'm trying to say.
I think from my point of view, there was such an absence of the Manchester United. Like just there was nothing really United related. I saw like a highlight where he said, I wanted to end, was it the 2021 season with a win or something like that? And then he didn't win. And then if you look at like the relationships he shows in the documentary, I was surprised. I was like, where's his link with at least, because you would think he would be bros with Martial, because you know obviously the French, when you have fellow people of your country, you tend to be more likely to build a contingent with them. Like nothing, like there was no relationships with any Man United players. I saw Blaise Matuidi, like you know what I mean? People like Griezmann. It was all his relationships.
I get the Griezmann one, but yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, but where was his links with? I'm sure he got on with people at Man United, but this documentary, right, 2 hours 30 minutes. I don't see you at least on a Zoom call with Martial. Like, why don't I see that?
He was in the car with Victor Lindelof. I remember that they were in the car together.
In the first episode, yeah.
They're chilling.
Okay, I forgot about that. I just don't think there was enough of that.
Yeah,
I wanted to see more of that. More of how you're interacting with the squad, with that you play for week by week. There was more stuff with the French team. And that was disappointing.
Fair enough. Any other thoughts on that?
I don't know. Maybe you're right that he was keeping his cards close to the chest, because let's not forget the other reason why he was scared to come to City is because he knew you guys are savages. You come after him as you did before. So at the end of the day, Eddie is right. You didn't do like, especially Martial. Now it also shows Martial somebody who's just a loner. Because every time you look at Martial, you're like, this guy's one of those guys who just sits on the corner, never seems to want to talk to anybody. But knowing Pogba, I get where you're coming from, because every time we see him on Sky doing an interview, like people are like Pogba, like Lingard and them are like, in the training, like Pogba, like imitating how he walks. So I was like, wow, like okay, so all that is gone now. It's just blanked out. Was he preparing for something already? Did he know of what? Do you get my point? So that's right. And the thing about Griezmann, why do they allow Griezmann to get away with a lot? These black players, like.
Hey, let Griezmann live. Let Griezmann live, man. He's out.
It's as if he's given a pass because he plays in the Premier League. So some of the stuff he does, man, the bear, like, that's suspicious.
I mean, it's this guy. He's the third best player in world football after Messi and Ronaldo.
Well, Griezmann.
That's what Griezmann claimed. That's why he's the third best player after, you know.
Nah,
So
that's
like
just straight delusion, isn't it? That
we
is
can't.
like,
Well, you know, like maybe that's confidence. You know, maybe that's
yeah.
confidence. Maybe that was his. He guess it's up to him, really. You know, Trimmer, what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. So I guess my question was like, I was surprised in this documentary that there wasn't a lot of talk about like United, maybe United fans. You know, Manchester United. There seemed to be more focus on his relationship with France and his family life and upbringing, all the rest of it, than there was specifically about United. And so I was saying was like, is that because when this was filmed, he still didn't know where he would be? And so he wanted to keep, and so he was going to release this documentary anyway. So he was trying to be tactful, and if he knew that he was going to go to a PSG or a Juventus or whatever, he might have said more stuff and spoke out more against Manchester United. What do you think?
It might be a little bit of both, but I don't really think Pogba, like, I don't think he's that kind of guy where even if he was leaving United, he knew he was leaving. I don't think he's the kind of guy to speak ill like that, because we have to keep in mind, like, yeah, he didn't work out for him, but I still think he loves United as a club. He loves the fan base. He loves everything. I think United is probably, if you would ask Pogba, like, what's the team he'll want to go, like, what's his dream club? He'd probably say United, because United, he was a youth academy player there. So, like, United is, you know what I mean? Like, that's his club. You know? When you think of Pogba, you think of Man United, because that's where he grew up. He grew up through the academy. He came through the ranks. So I don't think he was speaking ill, because at the end of the day, I still think he's attached to the club. So regardless of whether he wanted to leave, because I think he's known he's going to leave for a while, you know? I think he's known that, because you can see even during the season, like, you could tell, like, there's no way he was staying here. You just didn't see a way he was going to stay. So I think it might be that, but I just think he loves United. You know, he didn't want to drag the team under the bus too much. He didn't want to, you know. I just don't think he's that kind of person to do that. He's not like a Zlatan, you know, who will just say whatever he wants to say. I don't think he's that kind of guy. So, yeah.
Zlatan, man. Anyway, he's a Serie A winner now, so I'm sure he's happy. Let me quickly.
He's 40 years old, right? And he's winning Scudettos. That's madness, man.
I mean, I don't know whether that's. I mean, I don't know whether that says more about Serie A than does about him. I'm not entirely sure. So, but I'm actually going to get a guy from the Rossoneri TV. We did for those who actually were there. We did a Serie A prediction at the beginning of the season. So we'll probably be reacting to our Serie A predictions at the beginning. At the beginning of the season, I actually predicted AC Milan to win the Serie A. So I'm actually happy with that. So, and I confirmed it by doing the opposite to what Have Hope did, because usually when he predicts, I think HH was saying he predicted Inter, and I said that's why I'm going to go for AC Milan. I'm certain that AC Milan are going to win it now, because that man has just jinxed Inter Milan now.
You should have bet on it, man. You know,
I should have actually. HH's jinx is so good at this point now that I'm actually thinking of putting some dough on it right now. So
yeah, man, HH, I have a lot of words to speak to him, person like that. But he also jinxed Man City, saying, "No, it's done. They're going to bamboozle Madrid." And look at what happened in the second leg.
Exactly. So I think I'm gonna put a few things on. So I'll be interested to see. Especially in the Champions League, you know, like he just, I don't know what it is, but he just has a weird superpower. Let's quickly look at just some comments going forward. Sorry, 1 second. Oh, here we go. Fans, Ingso says, fans and clubs hated Mino, but put yourself in the player's shoes. He gets the best of them. He's a Kiwis and Pogba left for Juve and became a star. And Man United, Pogba wouldn't have played. It's fair. And again, thanks again so much to Chainsaw for gifting the memberships. And please take advantage. For those who are watching, please take advantage of it. Really, really appreciate Chainsaw. We will be I'll give some announcements towards the end, but bring back member hangout streams where we just discuss pretty much everything. And then we're also going to be bringing back versus videos, because there's not a lot of football to talk about right now because the World Cup has been pushed to the winter. So, quite frankly, I don't really want to post regular videos of linked FC to United. This person's linked when a lot of it is just nonsense. So I want to try and create a few fun things. So we'll probably do.
Did you hear what Riola said, by the way? That he said 85% of what you hear on like this kind of hype is rubbish.
What? Sorry, what did he say?
You said 85% of what you hear from like tabloids about transfer.
Oh yes, it's garbage. Yeah, of course, of course. As much as I keep on saying this, as much as people call Fabrizio Romano a tapping merchant, at least I know that when he says "here we go," I'm like, okay, that's it. That's it's it. It's going to happen in the next 1 or 2 days. He's got that sort of thing. Everyone else, they're just, oh yeah, I heard this from like, Madrid zone is probably the worst example. Real Madrid are definitely going to sign Mbappe last summer. Real Madrid are definitely going to sign Mbappe this summer. Mbappe signs the PSG. So I've muted Madrid zone, so they're
and then one big thing as well, let me just say this, like when Romero came out and said the De Jong deal was 95% done, and that was like a month ago. I was like, come on. It's just too much hype, man.
No, I agree. Mega says thoughts on the Richard Arnold video. Okay, so some of us did talk about it yesterday, and the videos are there. But okay, just a brief. For those who did sort of see it, just a brief, like, what you guys thought about it.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much going through my mind about that, because I heard that those protesters wanted to go to Rich Arnold's house, right?
Which wasn't. I didn't agree with.
You shouldn't do.
That's not right. So, but
assuming he's got a family, right? Doesn't he?
Exactly. I think that's why I feel like he went, because it was like, I need to do the more peaceful thing and just go and just sort of just be real, than like not do anything, and then they come and and cause problems to my family, which I think is I thought that was wrong that did that. But anyway, sorry, go on.
Yeah, so I was listening to the video and like, okay, fair enough. Rich has been like a bit transparent in saying that the money is there for signings. Okay, he's not. I wanted to hear why it's like been so slow on the Young deal, but he said Murto's working for like, what was it, 6 till 10 or something on the deal. He said something weird like Murto's working like through the whole day, every day on the deal. It's like, come on, man, how many clauses in the contract are you negotiating, man? It's supposed to be Ten Hag's guy. It's like, okay, and I heard a bit of waffle as well from him too. Like he said, there was one moment where he said to the fans, like, yeah, I need your help, and then one of the fans was like, oh, do you mean not to protest? And then he went into talking about the away fans, and then talking about Rashford's form, and I was like, this guy's waffling a little bit. But at least, like I said, he was saying stuff about there's money there for transfers, being honest about the fact that Woodward and Glazers burn through cash, spent over $1 billion, and you'll go to the club and you won't even see where any investment is, isn't it? Because like a lot of stuff is run down.
No,
is
exactly.
the roof still leaking, by the way? Like,
let's just, bro. Eddie, we can't go there. We can't go there. We can't go there. We can't go there.
Okay, but anyway, just to summarize, anyway, he seemed like really nervous as well. Like, did you like he was even like swearing as well? I mean, obviously he doesn't know he's on camera, but he just seemed a little bit all over the place, to be honest. But I mean, I've got to be like getting into his mindset, because if fans were coming to my house, right, and then I've gone to meet him at the pub, I would be a little bit nervous still. So I may be given benefit of the doubt for like a little bit of stumbling that he was doing, but yeah, that's good. I want to see that happen. Yeah, not in a pub like on a little shaky phone. I want to see it in a press conference, man. Like I'm fed up of these managers come out every time, right, from Man United, and they're asked stuff about the hierarchy. It's like, why do you not have John Murto next to the manager helping him answer questions about transfers? Have the CEO there answer, because the media. Remember when they were asking Ralph interim about structural stuff? He's not part. He's the interim, and you're asking him about all this stuff from like that's been happening for the last 10 years. So basically, to finish off, I want to see that kind of expose in a proper forum. Yeah, not at the pub where hearing like there's swearing, all that crap. properly come out,
Well,
tell the fans what you're doing, organize it, you know?
it wouldn't be Manchester United if we did those things that you just said that they should do.
Then what are we doing here, man? I'm going to retire. I'm going to retire.
Yeah, but RTS, Eddie's right. Those things are good because the city chairman has been doing that for years, right? And every time he's interviewed by one of the club legends, obviously speaking, someone who's been there for so long, interviews him and asks him the questions that fans want to hear. They ask him about transfers. Obviously, he doesn't spill out in full details, but he says we are working on 4 or 5, or he says working on 3. He tells you, but he's open. He opens up the books, profits if we've made a loss. He tells everything. Now the advantage of that, which I've seen throughout the years, is you won't hear anybody questioning anything because he's already told you that we didn't make money. What are you gonna come to say? Oh no. Oh, where's the money? So he tells you everything. He tells you what has come in at the stadium at this period in time. He does it every day at the end of the season. I think he's right. That had to be in a very controlled environment, somewhere great, because now it looks like it's gossip because it has been recorded at the end of the. Like, did the club know that he's going there? That's where we're asking now. It's like, why is he snitching is he snitching against his own club? Did he get permission? Did they know he was gonna meet them at the pub? Do you know what I mean? This could have been easy, just put it on a platform, YouTube channel or something. Now,
no, I agree.
You get what I mean? Like we put it on the YouTube channel every year. It's on the YouTube channel.
Patrick, I agree with this is the thing. I agree with everybody. What I'm saying is that it wouldn't be Manchester United for them to do those sensible things. That's not. We don't do that at Manchester United Football Club. What we do is, rather than do what you say, we discuss sensitive things over a pint. That's what we do at Manchester United Football Club, man. That's why this football club right now is a bit of a joke.
But can we give him flowers for having the balls to do that though? Also,
I mean, that's assuming he's still going to be in a job after this has been dissected. But
I don't think flowers. Maybe a pat on the back, something like that. Isn't it? But flowers is a bit much, you know.
Chimera Buddy, what are your thoughts briefly on the Arnold thing? When we quickly move on.
Donald thing. I mean, I didn't really think too much of it, to be honest. You know, there's just more Man U, some more Man U news. So I didn't really make too much of it.
No, fair enough. Let me quickly go. So there you go, Mega. That's answer to your question.
Can I just say shout out to my cousin in the comments? His name's Emax. Like,
right.
For tuning in.
I think. Here we go. I've seen it. Emax said, "Hi, cousin. So sorry, just seen the message. Pogba is in his own world nowadays. He does what he wants to do." Is Emax a Manchester United fan as well?
Oh, no, he's actually at Arsenal.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you later, buddy. Oh, man. Yeah, shout out to anyone.
It's kind of true. Pogba is just saying, I mean, come on, he's changed the name of a documentary to Pogmentary. He's in his own world.
Yeah, that's cheap. That's cheap. That's cheap. Yeah, that's cheesy, man. Come on, man. Pogmentary. You know what I mean? Like Pogmentary. Come on, bro. Like this. That's what. Like, if there's one thing. Like, but I'll come. Let me just quickly finish with some of these comments, man. Pogba is United coming by never gets treated like one. People forget he came age 60 and wanted to make it, and he came back when he never needed to, and that is true. I always did think it was weird that how the likes of Rashford and Lingard were more seen as more academy-based players than Pogba was, even though Pogba was an academy player. But I just think that ultimately, obviously, us buying him back from Juve for 80 million or so. Obviously, it did change things. Whatever you say, it did change things. Oh, Pogba was neighbours with Lindelof. Okay, their families are close. Right. Okay, fair enough. Januzaj also from his youth days. Yeah, fair enough, although he ended up being a flop. United squad isn't as close as you think. FIFA, because I need to watch it, is on Netflix. No, it's on Amazon Prime, bro, if you're in the UK. Or in general, I think it's on Amazon. Yeah, says, to be fair, Lingard wasn't at the club when they were filming the docu. Oh yeah, he was at West Ham, wasn't he? Okay, yeah, that might be why Lingard might not been there.
Are you sure it's everywhere? Because like I'm looking at the rating for it, 2-star. Like, where's all the Pogba fans from France like rating it?
Yeah, where are the dub masters? Where are you guys?
Where are the dub masters?
They're missing.
It's probably getting review bombed by Graham Souness, man. That's what's happening. So
it's making little fake accounts, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So it's like He said, "Oh, Meg says he fell out with Lukaku at United. They used to be friends." That's interesting because it was Pogba that was the one that asked Lukaku to come to the club in the first place. So I wonder how true that is. I'd be interested to see how yeah, there's certainly issues there. There's no doubt about that. Griezmann was so close to joining Man United in 2017 that would have changed Jose's fortunes. I don't even know whether
because you wanted centre backs as well, man. This guy was trying for a lot.
I don't know how well that would have been, to be honest. I'm not entirely sure. And Shane says, why did Pogba make a documentary? Who does he think he is?
World Cup winner. That's what he is.
I mean, so is Olivier Giroud, and Olivier Giroud is now Serie A winner as well.
Oh yeah. Well, some people have egos.
I know. I know. Like, what can I say? You know, I could, you know.
It just feels like I'm defending Pogba a lot. Yeah, I didn't even like Pogba that much at Man United. I think, like I said, underwhelmed. But it's like I just want to say the other side, innit, of the debate, not just, you know, criticizing. You know, we've got to try and weigh it up. You know.
English and Pogba asked for his transfer twice in 19 and 20. After the Leeds game, he was still expected to be sold. Man United kept him for Brighton, and I think this is a very good quote. I mean, you know, EFAC says about there are too many haters. I don't hate Pogba. I don't hate any football player. I think at the end of the day, they should do what's right for them. But I think that this is interesting. But I think the main point of this is that the reality is that Paul Pogba was one of Manchester United's biggest brand players. You know, if we link to the whole Arnold video, a lot of what he said in the video was that we need sponsors. We need, you know, if we're going to develop the stadium, we're going to do all these things, we need money coming into the club. And we're not going to do that if sponsors are pulling out because people are protesting. So my biggest takeaway from the Richard Arnold video was that the reality is that the protests actually work. And actually, if United actually had sustained protests if United fans had sustained protests over the whole season, it would affect United negatively, and that could potentially force the Glazers to sell. So
they've had years to be getting proper investors. This is the thing. They've relied on too much borrowing. I mean, 600 million, I've heard, is the borrowing debt. And come on, the protesters are gonna be, you know, coming out.
So naturally, when you see someone like Paul Pogba going, you're like, well, at the end they would rather just keep him for marketing, because obviously he's a marketable player, and let him go for free. Then obviously sell the guy because of the amount of money that we're going to get for. That's why it makes sense. Even though they should have signed him, unfortunately, the way the United is run is that we'd rather keep playing, let his contract run down for marketing purposes and finance purposes than actually having the foresight to actually go ahead and actually negotiate and have a contract. You know, and that's the sad reality of Manchester United Football Club right now.
Yeah, RDS, one point as well that I just can't believe how inept these guys are at trading players in the market. You know, it's only really been Daniel James that they've really profited on recently. What was it? Bought him for 15 million, sold him for 30, and then everyone else is like, there's an exodus of players just walking out. Lingard, Matic, Pogba, no sell-on value. It's like, come on, man, you got to learn the market, man. It's so frustrating.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, you know, so I think that for me, the big thing about the Richard Arnold video was that he confirmed that the protest last week actually worked. And so if the United fans really want the Glazers out, it has to be sustained protest. It can't just be, I mean, this is, I mean, Mega says, look, sometimes when you have to, the only one to give, I don't condone physical violence of any kind to anybody at all. But the reality is that you don't honestly think that just a few thugs going around someone's house is going to no. What's going to happen is they'll call the police and those people will be arrested, and that's the end of the discussion. And it'll make United fans look bad, and they're hooligans, and it'll be like, oh, these guys are the exception to the rule. And that's why the best way is to actually have proper organized peaceful protests where you're causing maximum disruption at the games. No one's going into the stadium and the fans and stuff like that. And if that's sustained over a period of time, then maybe you can get the Glazers out. But I think just obviously just beginning to
ADS, I'm off, unfortunately.
Are you off?
Yeah, sorry.
Take him.
go
Oh,
ahead.
you have a show. You have a show now, don't you? I think coming up.
Nah, I don't.
Oh, all right, okay. Well,
My
guys, for those who are watching, please head over to please subscribe. Patrick is a Manchester City fan, but a good guy, man. One of the the few Man City fans that are out there, of course. So if you want to head over to his channel, please go and Patrick, shout your channel before you go, man.
Yeah, my channel is just True City Fan channel. It's a small channel, small little channel. It's growing, but it is what it is. You can come through if you want to see a couple of brothers spit some game. Anyway, Joe, yes, this season you're not allowed to go on loan to anybody's team. This time we're exposed.
I know I'm already on. I've already extended with Real Madrid, buddy. That was already confirmed.
Shameless, man.
That
Shameless.
was already confirmed. Los Bancos Studios from the beginning of the season. That's already been.
Rip up the contract, bro. Come on.
This man is shameless, man. This man has been.
Unfortunately, no. What's shameless is that the fact that Pep has still not won a Champions League in Manchester City.
Oh wow!
That's shameless. But to be fair, that's
beyond. That's below the belt. Anyway, cool, man. See you, man.
No worries. Take care, buddy. Take care. Right. Was there any more shouts? Oh, what's the stream? So low. I switched to watch the stream on my second channel and Boomerang membership back at me. We'll hopefully do more membership giveaways once membership hangouts and extra stuff starts. Appreciate it, Chainsaw. Appreciate it. Thank you so much, buddy. Box is Patrick looking for a Champions League. He's still looking. Unfortunately, he's still looking. Box. He's still very much looking. But there you go, Patrick's. You got another subscriber, man. You're not a subscriber, so. But I think let's obviously just begin to round things up because I think there's not much to say. So, but I guess maybe the end point is, and obviously, guys, if you have questions for any of the panel, please get the questions in as we begin to round things up. But I think my last question would be do you guys how do you think that Pogba? Do you think Pogba's going to be successor Juve? How do you see Pogba's legacy going forward? Because obviously, World Cup is coming the end of the year. You've got obviously it's going to be Juventus back in the Champions League, all the rest of it. How do you see will he be a success? What will be his legacy after United, etc.? What do you think will happen?
Right. Shall I go? Or...
Yeah, go for Eddie. Sorry. Yeah.
Cool. It's a big question, that one is, because he's got to that age now where it's okay, this is the prime time where you've got to be winning. Your cups, doing everything you can do before you get too old. Because I think, what is he, 29 now? Remind me of his age.
Yes, I think so. Yes, yeah.
Right. So it's okay, this is that time where you've got to make use of what specimen you have left. He's had quite a few injuries, so his muscles are going to be worn down to a certain extent. So he's going to be a bit more stiff. It always happens when you recover. Yeah, sometimes your muscles come back stronger, but when you get older, you're going to get a bit more scar tissue. You're going to be a bit more stiff. So, going back to Juve, I don't think you should be joining a project, really, to try and help them rebuild. It's going to take quite a few years because, you've got the likes of Milan who, they look strong, don't they, really, with winning the Scudetto. What was it? Napoli and Inter were in that race as well. So, if he's joining Juventus, he's behind 3 teams, So, I don't know about joining them. In the documentary, they talked about his link with PSG, and I couldn't believe how the fans were. There's certain fans that were making banners saying "Don't come to PSG." I thought that would be a good move for him, to be honest. Having the likes of Messi and Neymar there,
I think this is the thing. This is the thing that I think hurt Paul Pogba, because that whatever people say, when you want to go to another club, you have to you still have to show your value. And I think that a lot of fans saw Pogba and they said, okay, yeah, he's got talent. But at the end of the day, he's in the last year, he's a lot of fans are realizing they don't want to be bought in the hype. And at the end of the day, in the last 2 seasons, Pogba was injured for quite a bit of the season and he didn't really play that well. So it's okay, why do we want someone on the club who has not really stepped up and shown what he can do to potential buyers? Because I think the Pogba wanted to go to Real Madrid, but but Zidane obviously is not there. I think if Zidane was in a job at maybe PSG, then maybe he might have got it, but he's not there right now. So really, the only option is Juve. And to be honest, I think that probably he's had to get a wage cut, which is why the negotiations is happening a lot longer. So the way that I almost see it is that like I want to not say Pogba lost, but at the end of the day, it's like, okay, you're leaving United, but you're going to another a club in another country where you're going to actually get paid less wage-wise. Although obviously you're going to get a sign-on fee, so that's fine. But also you're in another club that's in the middle of its own rebuild, because Juventus are rebuilding. And as you rightly said, players are ahead of them.
We've seen what he relies on, though, RDS, right? He relies on people being, just knowing what they're doing around him, or pretty much, because Juventus, when they got on, right, they were winning Scudettos like there was no tomorrow, wasn't it? It was like consecutive Scudettos after Scudetto. So it's like he needs to, for me, it seems like he needs to be just plugged into a winning team. To go to a rebuild, I mean, when you're in a rebuild, like you're going to have to do some extra work, aren't you, until the rebuild's finished, right? That requires, especially in the midfield, extra running, extra tackling. And we know what Pogba's like with extra running and tackling. He likes to do the jogging. His nickname in some respects was Jogba. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember Jogba.
Yeah. So
I remember Jogba. Jeez. Anyway,
so if there's some projects he can be part of where they're winning already, that I would see definite success. But if he goes to Juventus, I don't know. I think it's a gamble. Even though, there's a heritage of him being there where he will be liked by the fan base. Maybe that's all that's important to him then at this point. Get secure, good wage, and be liked at your club. And it's going to be refreshing as well. But let me end on this then. In terms of him improving himself as well, and I'm just thinking again, actually, it may not apply. I was about to say he's got to read the game better in terms of, because when he was talking about a specific game in the documentary, he said against Switzerland, when they were 3-1 up, he didn't read the press. That's a big thing to his game. He's done that at Man United so many times, where he holds the ball too long and bang, someone's taking him out, counter-attack, and almost a goal. And that kind of thing, if he's going to go to a fast league, you definitely have to improve on that. But I guess going back to the Italian league, it's going to be slow anyway. So, anyway, okay, he just needs to go and get happiness then. That's what I'll say, really. He's not wasted completely all the 6 years, because like I said, he won a couple of trophies, but for a World Cup winner, you would think, he should have had more other trophies at domestic level. But yeah, I'll just say, Pogba, go and be happy somewhere where they actually want you and where they tell you about the project properly and don't mismarket you like they did at Man United, because we thought he was supposed to be the world beater when he's just a luxury guy.
Yeah. I mean, is it funny, the fact that like that Pogba has so since the World Cup, Pogba has more European trophies than Mbappe?
Wow.
I'm not going to go there, but I'm just saying that, like, we're talking about achievements, but Mbappe played Mbappe played in that World Cup, and I mean, I'm sorry, I don't count Ligue 1 as a legitimate.
Come on,
trophy.
man. You still got to beat humans, bro. Come on.
Nah, like unless the thing is, it's worse if you don't even win, because you have a French Cup. So if you're gonna at least win like all your domestic trophies, the fact that and also 2 of those times they didn't even win the title. 2 of those times they didn't even win the title as well. They lost the title to Leo the season beforehand. So 2 of those
isn't there a
seasons,
debate? Isn't there a debate that there's some competition then, RDS? Come on. It's not just a given thing. Some other guys can win it. Come on. There's some competition.
What I will say, and I know this is an anti-Ligue 1 conversation, but what I will say is that how many... Can you give me... And maybe people in the chat will know this. Can you tell me when was the last time a Ligue 1 team actually won a European trophy, and how many Champions Leagues have Ligue 1 teams actually won? Do you know that, Eddie?
No.
Shimmer, do you know that?
The last time a League One team won a European trophy.
Yes. And how many Champions Leagues does Ligue 1 teams have?
I don't remember. I don't think a League One team has won one this decade. I don't think so.
Nope.
I don't think so. I think the last time, I think only one League One team has won the Champions League, right?
Yes, that's true.
And that's Marseille, right?
It was Marseille. Marseille in 1993, I think.
Was it Monaco the last time a League One team won a European competition?
I don't think so. I don't think think Monaco.
Oh no, they lost to Porto in the final.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I generally think the last time a Ligue 1 team won a trophy was Marseille when they won it when they won the Champions League in '93.
Yeah, that might be right because I can't remember. Yeah. I can't remember.
You know it's 2023 next year. So that's what 30 years.
That's true. What? RDS though, I'll say this. Yeah, there's still. International.
Sorry.
There's internationals that go to that league.
Box has bought a trophy right here. PSG finalists in 2020.
Yeah. Oh, what is that when they lost to Bayern Munich? I think.
Yeah, and then Monaco. So those are two trophies right here. Monaco finalists in 2004 and PSG finalists in 2020. So congrats. So finalist FC. Shout out to Ligue 1 for being finalist FC, man. So yeah, sorry, I know it's a distraction, but I can't respect a league that only has one. I'm not even. We're even talking about Europa League in here as well. You mean to tell me there's only one European trophy in 30 years? Even the Portuguese league have more. Like, come on, guys. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't. So Mbappe, Brentford is great. You won Ligue 1. I'm happy. Win a better trophy. That's all I'm saying. So sorry, Chima. Final thoughts on like what you feel, how you feel Pogba will be going forward for Juventus and beyond.
I mean, to be honest, like it's in a weird way. Pogba really doesn't have anything to prove. It's weird because because he won the World Cup. And he was a star in the World Cup, so it's hard for him. You know what I'm saying? He really doesn't have much to prove. Like, to be honest, like it's just for him. It's just I think it's personal for him now to prove that it was. I guess in a way, it's like to show, yeah, it was them that held me back. It wasn't me, per se. But I think, honestly, for him though, like Juve is a good move because even though it's a project kind of team, he needs to go to a team where he can just play his footy, There's no pressure. There's no added stress because nobody's expecting Juve to really do much next year. They're not expected to win the CL. They don't have that kind of like. I'm not expecting Juve as a club. I'm just saying like compared to United, where everybody's focused on what Man United is doing. Everybody's worried about what United is doing. It's not like that at Juve. So you can just, especially PSG. Even if he goes to PSG, there's gonna be their goal is to win the CL, nothing else. Like Ligue 1, all that. That's not their goal. They expect to win Ligue 1. Their goal is to win the CL. So for him, would it be wise for him coming off a situation United where he was under intense pressure to go to PSG now where you're under intense pressure? Because if they were to fail, he would be getting a lot of blame from the fans. Because you see how the fans treat Neymar and Mbappe, and like Messi. You see how they don't give them any leeway. So Papa wouldn't get that leeway, So I feel like for him, Juve is a good club where he can just relax, play his footy. And, he'll get his numbers. He'll put numbers up. So, and then people will say it's a good signing. So he'll be. I think at Juve for him it's a good move for him. But for his career, it's weird. He really don't have much to prove, which is funny.
Fair enough. But thanks for that. But I think so. I remember just one question I starred. I'm going to just quickly bring up that I remember was good before we kind of round up. Like I said, get your last. We've obviously talked a lot about the Pogba. If you guys are still watching the chat, if you have any last questions, get them in as we round up the next 5 minutes. I remember Box brought this in action. He said, do we think Pogba may have never been suited to the EPL like many players before him, Forlan, Varane, Shevchenko?
Yeah, man. Like I was saying, like in a little bit of my soliloquy that I had at the end, the way that Pogba said he didn't read the press against Switzerland in the documentary, right? was a big thing for me. And I wish he would go into that more in the documentary, especially talking about, how we didn't really connect with the team at Man United as well. For me, to answer this question, then really, I think because there were so many games where you'd see he's holding the ball too long, right? We see that he would be slow, a little bit too languid. He just, he wasn't suited. He wasn't suited for the Premier League. I reckon it's a mentality thing as well, though. Although he wasn't suited, he's got his physical specimen is such that he could adapt, because you see how big he is, he's got muscle. I've seen him run like really fast when he wants to, but when he wants to, right? And a lot of the time he doesn't want to put in those hard yards, as some hardcore English fans say. But the thing is, it was a bit of 50-50, like, a bit of his mentality not being right. And, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, he needed to apply himself a bit more in terms of reading the press. Yeah, that's what I'll say to that.
Yeah.
Would you agree? So go on, yeah.
No, I can't really say it because he wasn't suited to EPL, because like, I know Pogba's last couple of years, he hasn't been great, but we have to forget the first 2 years he came to the PL, he was pretty good.
He was sick. Exactly, he was sick. He was good. Yeah,
he's very good. He was one of the best midfielders in the league, easily. So he's suited to the PL. I just think maybe we just have to keep in mind, maybe he's declining as a player, because maybe the injuries he's been accumulating constantly, maybe that's taking a toll on him as a player. Because because before he started getting injured, he was playing well consistently week in, week out, putting up numbers, looking like the best player on the team. But maybe the injuries is taking a toll on him, week in, week out. Maybe that's starting to result in a decline for him as a player. That's something we might have to keep in mind. Maybe he's just not that same player anymore, that no matter the situation, no matter the environment, he might just not be able to be the same player he was before.
Abdul, who's a Barcelona fan, says the biggest takeaway from the documentary for me is how in touch he and his team were with what was being said online. Also, that Mino also acknowledged that he was different for France than for Manchester United. And yeah, I mean, like, I think that I think anyone thinking that players don't read or know Twitter or this, well, I mean, they have to, because they're social media people now. So they obviously see what we post online. They see the negativity. They see the sorts of, and they can't help but absorb it. I remember someone saying that after the game, the Europa League final, a lot of United fans got on their phones. So they're getting on their phones. They're going to be seeing all the crap that's being posted. They're going to see it. So you've got to take
a big thing that Pogba said was that he did see all this, right? But he would. Because he said Pogba said about himself that he's his own biggest critic, so he was able to block out, media hype, all of this criticism, and because he's so in tune with himself, he'd try and do better. Really, that's what. These are words from his mouth, though. I don't think he's pretty much embodied that completely, because you just see him in certain games. He has had a chip on his shoulder, It's hard to do. I don't even know how some of these players actually play sometimes when that they have to be on social media, because that amount of distraction there, you need morale boosts. And when people are inboxing you a load of rubbish.
To be honest, I just think that players should, if they have to have social media, they should delegate the social media to some sort of, and some do that to like a brand manager. They just run their own, just like someone runs it's not like Ed Woodward or the Glazers that run the United Twitter account. Someone else does. So your brand, so you allocate someone to run your personal Twitter, Instagram, whatever account for you, and you just don't go on it, and you just focus on the game, So, I mean, to be honest, the only reason I got on Twitter, if it wasn't for this channel, I wouldn't be on Twitter, because I'd be like, I don't know what the point is for it. Like, for me, in my thing, I'm only on it because to share, to subscribe, to make connections, all the rest of it. But outside of that, I'd have no reason to. I generally have no reason to go on Twitter, or the like, So,
I mean, I'm like you as well. I use it for the promotion, but I don't know. It's like it's one of them tools where it's just gossip, isn't it? Like, people get addicted to that gossip,
Yes.
I found myself just wasting time just arguing about stuff where it's like, why I came on for a different reason to promote my channel.
Exactly.
And now I'm defending Rashford about what he does with his humanitarian aid and all this.
Exactly. Like
Stuff.
it's a lot for a lot of stuff. It is generally a waste of time. And Chains was and started to target him on top of the social media, and that is true. There was a lot of media target. You know, let's keep it a stack. You know, there was a lot of, I think, racial undertone criticism towards him when, quite frankly, a lot of other players, you know, were not completely. You know, you know, I think Roy Keane is probably the only one ex-United that I remember that actually sort of went at Harry Maguire, for example. You know, most others just didn't. Harry, or this or that. It's like you would have gone. Like, are you honestly telling me that a guy celebrating a headed goal against Albania with his ears like that, and if it was Pogba doing that, you would be like, that's stupid.
Pogba would have been murdered for doing that.
You know, and yet you got the England captain doing something like, you know, like what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? You know,
it was really refreshing what Roy Keane did. I know it's a little bit bad, but when he did his impression of Maguire, and he sounded just like him with no charisma, just like a robot voice. That had me in stitches, man. And he did that on Sky Sports, isn't it? That was funny.
No, yeah, and he has every reason to, because he was. So that's what I'm saying. It's like the way I just sort of see it, especially this season, is that yes, Pogba was bad, but like the whole team was bad. There was no player at the end of the season that can hold their head up high, and so criticism should be balanced and leveled equally.
That's true.
So obviously, just before we round up, just a few announcements on this channel. Thanks again for those who are watching. Remember to like the vid if you haven't already, and for those obviously for new members. So I'm obviously, you know, now that I've got a fair bit more free time and not trapped in with exams and work, I'm going to try and do a lot more on this channel. So shout out to those who obviously recently become members. We are going to be doing weekly member hangouts. I'll be posting the links on the community tab. So the member only hangouts where we'll discuss all the latest news regarding football and more. So I think that's one thing that's also going to be coming. Thank you to those who've also voted on the poll as well for a weekly Q&A. If you do have suggestions on the types of content that you want, obviously please DM me on Twitter, UnitedX. Obviously comment on the videos and I will have a look. But certainly a weekly Q&A. I haven't got a specific time day yet, but we'll get that. That is something that will show. What I'll try and do is post. If you follow me on Twitter, WeUnitedX, please submit your questions to that Twitter handle, and we will get a couple of us on the show to basically just sort of address. And it can be any questions regarding football and outside of football within reason that we can just address. It could be very light-hearted banter, that type of thing. So that's hopefully something that'll be coming as well, and it'll be weekly. And then the other thing as well is, because of the lack of football, for those who know and have been here last summer, we usually try and do versus videos that we literally just put players head to head from different clubs, sometimes in the same club, and just have a debate about them as well. I usually put a poll up on the tab, so members will get like first dibs basically on the versus battles coming up. But obviously, I want you guys to have your say as well. So there'll be a couple of the topics of examples coming in the future. I usually put about 5. So the members will usually decide what we'll do about 3 or 4 or 5, and then we will then put that to a vote. And then depending on what one gets the most votes, we'll then have a weekly versus debate or discussion about which player was worth. So and that'll be seen.
Sorry, did you say you're doing that for managers as well, or is it just?
Yeah, we can put players and we can put managers as well. So
yeah.
I'm thinking
you might have to consider Pep versus Mourinho, man. That's a big one.
That is something that is. I'm thinking of getting of HH. We're getting different people, so I'm going to get someone to defend Pep and someone to defend Jose Mourinho. And I'm thinking of getting that as well. So Pep versus Jose, Sir Alex Ferguson versus Pep as well. There's a few that are coming in as well. So we're getting managers, we're getting players. So stay tuned for that as well. So guys, final thoughts as we round up. Oh, sorry, final thoughts, guys. Shout out to Eddie and Shimmer and everyone that came on the panel. Really, really appreciate you guys. Eddie, Shimmer, can you let us know where they can find you? Social, shout them out, please.
Yeah, so you can find me on YouTube, Eddie's Football Waffle. You can put what I've said there on my little thing that I've got across the screen, Eddie Footy Waffle. If you just type it in YouTube, you'll find it. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's Eddie OTU and then the number 2. So Eddie 022 on Twitter. But just follow me on YouTube on Eddie's Football Waffle. I do content where I do some commentary on certain games and I have a little bit of fun. I don't take it too serious. A bit of analysis, a bit of jokes, a bit of memes. So yeah, check me out. And yeah, hit the like on this stream. It's been a great discussion, man. I could keep going. Hit a like and subscribe to RDS, man, because quality content, as you've said, is coming up. So thanks for having me on again, bro.
Shimmer, buddy.
Anybody from my Twitter? Twitter's really the only one I'm active in. So for my Twitter, just my name and just put a 97. That's that's it. Just it's simple. Just my name and a 97 afterwards. That's the handle.
Awesome. Thanks, buddy. So make sure you guys, for those watching, you check those guys out. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more content coming up this week. Have a nice day, everyone. And cheers.
Cheers.